ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وما يضلله فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أوصيكم وإياي أولا بتقوى الله فقد فاز المتقون. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, to all the sisters and brothers, let us recite the morning dua. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. Allahumma bika asbahna wa bika amsayna wa bika nahya wa bika namut wa ilayka nushur. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La yadurru ma'asmihi syai'un fil ardi wala fis sama wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. Raditu billahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi muhammadin nabiyya. Allahumma zidni ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ya muqallibal qulub thabbit qulubana ala dinik wa ala ta'atik. Allahumma adkhilna jannatak wa ajirna minan nar. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin ya rabbil alamin. All praise due to Allah Rabbil Alameen for all His guidance, His mercy, His blessing that Allah has been given us till today, and may the blessing of Allah will keep on increase in the coming days, inshallah. Amin. One of the most important thing that we can be very, very sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is been providing all of us is the peace of mind. The peace of mind, the inner peace, where Allah also reminds us, Allah bi zikrillah tatma'inul qulub. Whoever want to have an ongoing inner peace, they always must try the best to remember Allah. Whatever happen in life, the first thing we call upon is Allah. Think of Him. Then you can solve your problem and you can understand your problem better than just think of the problem. But being human, we all are aware that we have a lot of feeling, emotion. Our emotion will always try to entertain the problem that we are facing. But Allah always reminds us that everything is part of qadar, taqdir. When it happens, the first thing we think is Allah. So when you have that kind of relationship with Allah Rabbul Alameen, you find a lot of peace. When you think of Allah, the second thing you must remember about qadar. Because it will not happen until Allah allow it to happen. When it happens, that means we must think of Allah, please protect me, guide me. From doing something that is wrong, saying something that will, I would say sometimes if you're not careful with your word, then whatever you say is going to bring a lot of, it backfire. It backfire. That's why the Prophet said, when you want to say something, be careful. If it's good, you can just say it. If not, you just have to control yourself. A word is like a bullet. One is out, you cannot pull back. This is part of the teaching of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the same time, I just like to remind all the good sisters and brothers, when Allah Rabbul Alamin informed us, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ, Allah said, indeed, in the Prophet is the best example for us to follow. If you want to go back to Allah in a way that Allah is pleased with us. At the end of the day, we all know that we have to go back to Allah, and we do not want to return back to Allah, where Allah is not pleased with us. Because that is when we will fail. Because going back to Allah only one time. Going back to friend, your family, many times. Going back to Allah only once. One trip. Is check in there, you don't check out here anymore. You check out in another area. So when Allah said He is the best example, and that's why we try our best. We try our best to follow the Prophet ﷺ in anything that we are doing in this life. It's not difficult example. We try to our best to follow the Prophet when he woke up in the morning. What do he do? When we wake up in the morning, what do we do? At least we say Alhamdulillah. That's what the Prophet does. He called upon Allah. Alhamdulillahillazi ahyana ba'da amatana wa ilahin nushur. And then you are going to the washroom. And then you go in with your left foot. And then you are going to do what you have to do. You come out, at least you said Ghufranak. Example. Then when you look at the mirror, it's nice to say, Allahumma kama hasanta khalqi fahassin khuluqi. Oh Allah, like how you have beautified my creation, that means you have beautified me, you create me in the best form, with all the beautiful feature. Alhamdulillah, give me good character. We are all good looking people, but if you are beautiful outside, but you are not good inside, it won't last long. You can see a lot of people with actresses, actors, handsome, beautiful, but a lot of problem. Their beauty create more fitna to them. We do not want that. Then we are going to eat, we say Bismillah, after food, Alhamdulillah. We want to live guided by the teaching of the Prophet, following the Sunnah. And we want to pray following the Sunnah of the Prophet. We are going to do prayer every day. We want to do our business following the Sunnah of the Prophet. We don't lie, we don't cheat. We are honest in our dealing. We want to have a friend, good neighbor, following the Sunnah. We honor the right of our neighbors. We want to fast, follow the Sunnah. We want to perform Sadaqah, Zakat, following the Sunnah. We want to die, also we must follow the Sunnah. That's how it goes. Following the Sunnah is just not only praying 5 times a day, but whatever we do in life, if we can follow the Prophet ﷺ, the best example, will give us a lot of peace. And then will qualify us to receive the shafa'ah from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in the Day of Judgment. That is what we really need. We know we are not angels, we do commit a lot of sin here and there. But by trying your best to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, especially when we are dying, Allahu Akbar, it's a good ending already. Then we qualify ourselves to get help from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. This is what we want to remind all the good brothers and sisters, that we are here to try to remind ourselves how to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Today, if I am not wrong, we should be on page 272. Sitting or standing on a Muslim's grave. The topic, we are talking about grave now. We know in general, brothers and sisters, we are not, the women are not encouraged. Yeah? The women are not encouraged to go to the kubur when the burial is taking place, if they cannot control their motion, their feeling, better not to go. But for the woman who can control, it's okay. It was allowed later on by our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yeah? But when you want to go to the graveyard, they have adab. Like you want to enter a mosque, there's an adab. You want to enter a house, there's an adab. When you want to enter the Muslim graveyard, there is an adab. The first adab is, remember to give salam. Assalamu alaikum ya ahlad diyar minal muslimin wal mu'minin wa inna insha'Allah bikum lahikun. Beautiful prayer. It ends with a very nice reminder. Wa inna insha'Allah bikum lahikun. And we are telling them, you don't have to tell them actually, but it's a reminder to yourself. Yeah, you all have gone earlier than us, but we will be following you soon. Yeah? We also have to come here, maybe in a different graveyard, but we have to go back to Allah Rabbil Alameen. Yeah? Now, one thing I like to share with a lot of sisters is about what the Prophet ﷺ always remind his ummah. I have mentioned this hadith many times, but because this is a very important hadith, so it's nice to keep on reminding ourselves. Yeah? This hadith is from Abdurrahman bin Amr as-Sulami, from Irbat bin Sariya radiyallahu anhu. Yeah, and they are one of the companion of the Prophet ﷺ who always cry. He's a very sensitive Sahaba. Yeah? There are Sahaba who was very tough, like Omar. Yeah? You hardly see him cry. Yeah? But this Sahaba, Irbat bin Sariya, he is very soft person and he always cry. And he said, صلى بنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم غداة ثم أقبل علينا بوجهه فوعظنا موعظة بليغة ظرفت منها الأعين ووجلت منها القلوب فقال رجل يا رسول الله كأن هذه موعظة مودع فماذا تعهد إلينا فماذا تعهد إلينا. One day the Prophet ﷺ was performing his Fajr prayer with all of us, the companion. After finishing the Fajr prayer, normally the Prophet, after the Fardu prayer, he said Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah. Then he will change his position facing Qibla to face the Ma'mum. And this is the Sunnah of the Prophet. Yeah. When you are leading a prayer for the woman, after that you can just make that movement, no problem. Even you are in the middle of the Saf, but after the prayer you just move aside, front, and then turn and look at your Ma'mum, and you make zikir. Yeah. Then the Prophet ﷺ give us a very important reminder. And that reminder move our hearts, yeah? And we start to shed tears. You know, Sahaba start to shed tears. They're crying because of that. Then one of the companions who was present said to our Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, the way you are telling us, the way that you are talking to us today is like you are telling us that you are leaving us. It's like when I want to leave somebody, or you want to travel, you want to leave your children for a while, you may call your children, come children, then we remind them with something. I think normally we do that to our children, who are staying with us. You know? Mom and dad is traveling for Hajj or Umrah. So please look into this, look into that, be careful of this, be careful of that. Just to alert them, so that if anything happen when we are not around, they know what to do. We always do that, so that we leave our children in peace. They know what to do. Now, then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam respond. He said, "Usikum bitaqullah." What is very important that the Prophet always remind his ummah, like every day we are reminding ourselves in the beginning of our lecture, ittaqillah. Oh Allah, oh people, be faithful. Remember Allah. How can you be faithful if you don't remember Allah? You must remember Allah Rabbul Alameen. Ittaqillah. And then the Prophet continued, was sam'i wa ta'a. You remember this, I always say. The best way to be close to Allah, to be faithful to Allah, to be obedient to Allah, is be a good listener and obey. When you know what I have remind you, just follow. Do you think it's easy to do this? Simple or not? It's simple. You don't know, now I'm going to tell you, and then you just do it. Simple as that. Who knows better than Allah? If Allah wants you to do something, you listen. We have been listening, but we are not falling out with doing what we were told to do. That is the problem we are facing today. This ummah is not ignorant ummah. We have a lot of information through the internet, through all this IT, but sometimes we keep on going through one program to another program, from one YouTube to another YouTube. For what? For what? Sometimes we are doing that is to see which one that pleases us. If this is too hard, I'm going to look and see that somebody said what I do okay. That one I will hold on. You see, the intention of us seeking knowledge is very, very far from the intention of the early generation. When the Prophet said something, they stop there. We are not like that. We still want to give a lot of excuses. So the Prophet said, and the beautiful word of the Prophet said, "Wa in abdan habashiyan." Even the one who is telling you something, and he quote the saying of the Prophet or the verses of Allah, you listen and obey. Even the one who is talking to you is a black slave. People that you don't like, but what he says is true, what can you do? Is that easy? Normally it's not easy. And Ali made a very good statement on that. Allahu Akbar. Ali said, "Unzur ila ma qal, la tanzur ila man qal." How many of us here learn Arabic now? The Prophet talked about nasiha, but now in general, and then Ali have a very deep understanding. He always come up with some saying. He said, look at what is being said to you. Don't look who is talking about it. Who is saying it? Who is saying have no value. But what they say is more important than who is talking about this. Of course, being human, we always like to look at who are you to tell me. But according to the teaching of Islam, what they say is correct, then is correct. Whether he's an old Muslim, young Muslim, new Muslim, born Muslim, black Muslim, white Muslim, Arab Muslim, non-Arab, as long as what they say is right, we say is right. Listen and obey. And then the Prophet continued, and it's so true what he has said. I just want to recap this saying of the Prophet. وَإِنَّهُ مَن يَعِشْ مِنكُم بَعْدِي فَسَيَرَى اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Indeed, whoever who survives after my departure, I'm going to go back to Allah, I'm going to die. So, you are sure, the Prophet said, this ummah is sure to encounter division among yourself. You are going to be divided in so many groups. And that's why now also the WhatsApp have so many groups. Group A, Group B, Group C, then you know what is coming after that. Just one mistake, you'll see what is going to come. Because we are grouping ourselves. And the Prophet also talked about groups already. And it's so true. Now we are having all these groups. And then the Prophet ﷺ, when he said about that, he know this is going to happen. And the Prophet said, "Alaykum bi sunnati." You have to follow my sunnah. Now he never said follow other people, neither my companion. That is why after my sunnah, his sunnah, because the sunnah of the Prophet that is sahih will not contradict with wahyu. Any hadith that is sahih will never contradict the Quran. A lot of people want to understand Quran without going through sunnah. They can't. They are going to interpret the Quran based on their rationale, their logic, without going through the explanation from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Why did Allah choose that the Quran was only revealed to one man? Because he entrusts him to explain, not to you, to me, or to any one of us. So nobody can understand what Allah wants from us without going back to the Prophet ﷺ. Then only the Prophet said, was sunnatil khulafa. Sunnah means way, my way first, then the way of my righteous Khalifa. Look at how the Prophet make it very clear. Now look at what is happening to all of us today. When somebody said this is what the Prophet said, you will come across a lot of people say, but I want the Ustaz say this, the Sheikh say another thing. What is happening to you? In the time of after the Prophet passed away, when Ibn Abbas quote a saying of a Prophet to one group of the companion, what happened? This group said to Ibn Abbas, we would see what Abu Bakr and Omar said. Ibn Abbas immediately responded, yushaka an tanzila alaykum hijaratun minas sama. Aqulu qala Rasulullah sallallahu wa taquluna qala Abu Bakr wa Omar. Look at the way they understand the saying of the Prophet. He said, when I quote the saying of the Prophet and you give me excuses, I want to see what Abu Bakr and Omar said. This is what the Prophet said. The minute you say Abu Bakr and Omar, who is the first and the second Khalif, the people who the Prophet had promised they were people of Jannah, what Ibn Abbas said. It's like you are inviting stone of rain to come down from the heaven. You are inviting the punishment, the anger of Allah. I'm quoting the Prophet saying, and you are saying what Abu Bakr and Omar said. You cannot put the saying of anyone ahead of the saying of the Prophet ﷺ. There's no adab at all. When we make shahada, did we say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah wa ashhadu anna Abu Bakr? No, we stop there. Allah and the Prophet must come first in our life. Then you save yourself from a lot of problems. This is what the Prophet is telling us. And the Prophet did mention there are two diseases that will be with my ummah. Even after the Prophet, Omar, Khalifa, these two diseases will be there among my ummah. What is the two? Number one is about asabiyah wa niyaha. Number one is asabiyah. Asabiyah means my ummah will carry on this feeling of nationalism, tribalism, and clan. When we talk about things, we are not presenting fellow mankind, fellow Muslim. We always come to the race. We always end up with tribes or clan. Example, when you talk about Islam, so beautiful, you have said the right word. Islam, we must protect Islam. Very beautiful. But then you end with what? After you use the word Islam, you end with what? Sometime. It depends where you say it. You end, oh, Chinese, gone. You end Arab, gone. You end Malay, gone. But you are not presenting everybody. When you say Islam is so beautiful, Islam is beautiful, Islam for all. But then you end with race. And this is what the Prophet said is so true. One of the diseases is we will carry on this racial feeling, emotion, where Islam have came to overcome all this problem and make Islam so beautiful. Unite all the hearts. When you talk Islam, you are representing everyone, like you go to Mecca. Why? Because you can see all races. Because of Islam. Alhamdulillah. Yeah? There's the beauty of the religion, to unite everybody. The second one, niyaha. Niyaha is when somebody that you love pass away. Then you will start to cry in a way that you are hitting yourself, torturing yourself. Niyaha is like those who weep overdo all this kind of thing. You are screaming, why this, why that? No. And this thing will carry on. You see? That's why until today you see sometimes when somebody that passed away is so close to you, we just cannot accept it. But who is the one who ordained our death? Is Allah. Even you do not know how to swim, but if Allah said you will not die drowning, somewhere something will come and save you. Even you are a great swimmer, if Allah said you are going to die, you die. This is just an example. One death come to us, we just say inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Not to get out of control, scream. You can cry, shed tears is normal. Not to actually torture yourself. And now you have a group of so-called Muslims torturing themselves just by remembering Hussain and Ali. You see that? Just by remembering these two great ummah, one is a cousin of the Prophet, the son-in-law, and the grandson of the Prophet Hussain. Now they're hitting their body, they're torturing themselves. This is what the Prophet said, niyaha. Yeah. So the Prophet have remind us, hold to my sunnah. Yeah? sitting or standing on a Muslim grave. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, based on this hadith, hadith riwayat from Muslim, Abu Dawud and others. For one of you to sit on a hot coal that would burn his clothes and reach his skin, that is better for him than sitting or standing on a grave. You know what the meaning of this hadith? Huh? Not beside the grave, on the grave. Because there are times people have no adab. Yeah? When you are covering the liang lahat, it's okay. You may have to put pressure, but after that, don't keep on standing on the grave, or sitting on it, even you love the person so much. Some people, the time of Jahiliyyah, the woman especially, they would just fall onto the grave. They embrace the grave. Why you leave me? These are the niyaha, that you are out of control now. Why you cannot do that. Then the Prophet is just giving you some qiyasan that it's better for you to sit or stand on a hot coal that would burn your clothes and reach your skin, even it can burn your skin, than to sit or stand on a grave. Uqba bin Amir reported again that the Prophet even said the meaning, I would rather walk on a burning coal or a sword's edge, or use my foot for the impossible task of mending my shoes, than to walk over a Muslim's grave. So that's why even you want to walk to another area and there's a grave in front of you, don't walk across. You can walk beside. Adapt. And it does not make a difference because they are equally bad. If I go to toilet among the grave or in the middle of the marketplace, if I go to toilet among the grave or the middle of the marketplace, anything you want to do, don't just cross over. Step over, show disrespect. Now the same thing happened. The Prophet don't like you to cross in front of the person who is praying when they are still alive. And the same thing when some people is talking, especially the elders, don't walk in front of them, between they and the people they are talking to. All this show no adab. You can walk behind, but not walk in front. Unless there's no other way to move, but you must seek permission. This adab do not only apply when you die, even before you die, you have to learn about this adab. The prohibition of sitting on grave has also been expressed in Abu Murtad radiallahu anhu above hadith cited, and facing the grave in prayer. You have other hadiths been discussed earlier. We know that if you want to make dua, the Prophet on and off sometimes, if you look at the hadith, sometimes in the middle of the night, he would just walk to Baqi'. And sometimes Aisha realized, hey, the Prophet is missing. In the middle of the night, normally, the Prophet sleep very early after Isha. He will go to bed and he will wake up for tahajjud and so on. And the graveyard at that time, it's not like here you have all the spotlight, no light. But because it's in the Middle East, the sun, the sky is very clear, so you can see the light and the stars, the moonlight is not totally dark. So the Prophet maybe midnight or early in the morning, before he make his tahajjud, he may walk towards Baqi'. Baqi' and the house of the Prophet is very nearby. Yeah? And once upon a time, Aisha don't know where he disappeared. So Aisha followed him, you know, followed and found that he was visiting the graveyard. You know, Aisha was worried that he's going to another wife's house. You know, so he had been sometime been woman, a young woman, a young wife. Then she realized that the Prophet was at the graveyard. Normally the Prophet on and over go to make prayer. Let me make dua for the deceased. Not say you cannot make dua at home. You can make dua anywhere. But why the Prophet suddenly like to go to the graveyard? Going to the graveyard is a reminder for those who are still living. See all these good friends of you, they were with you before, now they are no more. They're no more up here, they're down there. That's why the dua, wa inna insha'Allah bikum lahikun, remind us. Yeah? But woman is not encouraged to do that too often. Yeah? Yeah? It's good, yeah, for the people who are so having a lot of problem to go to the graveyard to have a look for a while. See, do you think they have no problem? They also have problem. The problem there is whether they have successfully respond to the question by Munkar and Nakir. Now, going to toilet among the grave. Uqba bin Amir above hadith also indicate that it is prohibited to urinate or defecate among the grave. Yeah? I don't know any of you have seen the latest video on the Hajj, when people come back from Hajj, or on the way to Hajj, wallahu alam. When the plane arrived and the cleaner came in, they saw so many things that is unbelievable. Yeah? You see people just throw the rubbish along, yeah, and beside their seat. Yeah. And then they went to the toilet. They found shit on the toilet. And they even see the water with the shit is kind of flowing out. Something is very wrong with, yeah. Maybe we overlook, I don't know from which country, that we fail to educate our own people from different countries. You should know your people better. You must make sure that they know what is cleanliness. And it's so true, we are ashamed with another group of Muslims, majority who is known as a new revert from Japan. Wherever they go, they keep on picking up all the rubbish. Can you imagine you are going to the Holy Land, you know, and the place was very clean before you arrive, and they have so many cleaners around, and they have all the manpower to hold all this big rubbish plastic bag. Along the way, whoever want to throw it, because you were given some drink very free, yeah? They give you drink, you can drink. After that, just walk a bit, then you see a guy will be standing in the middle of the road with a big plastic, just throw it there. People just don't do that. May Allah protect us, yeah? From being very irresponsible and for not be clean. You know what happened? Those who don't clean themselves, they will be punished in the grave. I don't know how you clean yourself if you are not, yeah, able to clean, yeah, the thing that is around you. Yeah? And you are not supposed to do that. Yeah? Why this saying is there? Because sometimes you find people do that. Yeah? Maybe they don't like the person who died. You know, they are going to do that. But you can't do that. even how you hate the person, you don't do that. Yeah? And this part that I'm going to share with you, placing flower, branches or leaf on the grave is something very common. Why we do that? We are Muslim. Who should we follow? We should follow our Prophet, the Sunnah of the Prophet. It is not permissible to place leaves or flowers over the grave that involve imitation to the disbeliever, and is an innovation that has no basis in the Sunnah or the practice of the righteous generation, the Salaf. Now, when you talk about Salaf, you must remember, don't forget the hadith of the Prophet, Khairul Nas Qarni, Thumma Allazina Yalunahum, Thumma Allazina Yalunahum. These are known as the Salaf. Means the first 3 generations. This is called the Salaf. After that, normally it's known as the Khalaf. We all are known as the Khalaf. Khalaf means after that. Khalf, from the word Khalf. Is it very common to all of us today? Why? We show that we feel for the dead people. We love them. Now, when you love somebody, do you love him in the way Islam wants you to love him? Or in your way? Love them for the sake of Allah. If you love somebody not for the sake of Allah, that love has no value in the sight of Allah. But when you love somebody for the sake of Allah, there's a lot of value. That the Prophet did mention about a person who traveled just to visit a brother or sister or anybody for the sake of Allah, he will be blessed for that. And his or her sin will be forgiven because of that. But the love must be for the sake of Allah. And somebody said, I love you for the sake of Allah. What should we say? Alhamdulillah. Hababkallah allazi hababtani li ajli. You all must learn from Sister Rohani. Sister Aisha, both of them work very hard to memorize the saying, how you express yourself. And people say, I love you for the, okay. Say something bad. They are saying something for you, and because of that, Allah and the angel, when Allah loves us, Allah command the angel to love us. It's a prayer. You should say, Hababtani, habakmo, allazi hababtani li ajli. May Allah love you like how you love me, and Allah have loved me more because of what you just said just now. And now may this love also be with you. Yeah, do that. I believe the young people who love each other, they always say, I love you, or you love me. Yeah, just me and you, me and you, me and you, not for Allah. No? So we must remind each other about that. Yeah. Those who do it sometimes mistakenly justify their action by something that Allah's Messenger did. About what? About leaves. Yeah? Jabir bin Abdullah reported that Allah's Messenger asked him to give him 2 branches. He placed them over 2 graves and said, Inni maraltu bi qabrain yu'azziban. I passed by 2 graves. The 2 men in this grave been punished by Allah. I hope through my intercession, shafa'ah, that their punishment will be reduced as long as the 2 branches are green. Now, what the tree that is very popular in that environment is dictates. So the Prophet called them to unplug just 2 branches, and then he put on one here and one there. But did the Prophet ﷺ do that to all graves? No. But we do to all graves today. Did the Prophet taught us to do that or command us to do that? Did any of the Sahaba follow this sunnah? You can't. Why you can't? Why you can't? Number one, you were not given the knowledge to know what is happening in the grave. So you cannot do that. What happened is the Prophet ﷺ was permitted by Allah to hear the punishment of these 2 men. There are so many graves there, but these 2. And that's why the Prophet now do it on the other grave. But only this, and then Allah remind the Prophet ﷺ. Look at what Allah said to the Prophet also. Innaka la tusmi'u man fil qubur. You cannot hear what is happening in the grave of the people. You cannot hear. This is what Allah permit him to educate his ummah to be careful. Yeah. Why they are punished? I passed 2 graves. Yeah. The 2 men in them been punished. I hope through my intercession that their punishment will be reduced as long as the 2 branches are green. Now, what is the thing that caused them to be punished? Then the hadith came in to explain further from Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu. Amma innahuma la yu'azziban ma yu'azziban fi kabir. Bala innahu la kabir. Until the end. Verily there are 2. These 2 are being tortured. And their punishment is for matters that are not important to many people. It's not something great. Rather, they are very serious indeed. Even it is not a great sin, a big sin, but it's very serious. If not, then they won't be punished because of that. And what is that? As for the first one, he used to walk about spreading slander. First, because he liked to gossip, fitna, backbite. Everywhere you go, when he open their mouth, they'll just talk about others. In the Quran, remind us there's no other speech that most beloved by Allah Rabbul Alameen than calling people to do what is good, encourage them to do sadaqah, and always try to make peace among the people. That means you like to be the middle person to make peace among 2 groups of people. And these are things that most beloved by Allah. Yeah? Not just talking nonsense, wasting time, talking about dunya. Yeah? Number 1 is a person who like to backbite, slander, fitna. As for the other, he did not cover himself from his urine. Meaning, they are not careful when they are responding to the call of nature. Yeah, there's other hadiths taught that they do not clean it properly. Now, if you look at the hadith, he did not cover himself from his urine. Example, فَكَانَ لَا يَسْتَنْزَى مِنْ بُولِهِ. If you wrote the hadith, لَا يَنْتَنْزَهُ, meaning istinja. Istinja if you do not wash it properly. That's why the men have this problem. A lot of men, when they want to respond to the call of nature, they don't sit. Most of them stand. And while you are standing, you know, either your urine will split and then it will dirty your pants, or when you are going to wash it, how are you going to wash it? It's going to dirty, some of the urine will going to sprinkle back and hit your trousers, and it's not clean anymore. The best way is to be in a toilet and there's some privacy. It's very important to have some privacy, so that shows some shyness is there. This is the problem we have if you go to China. In the city, no problem. But when you look at what China have done before even the Japan come up with the special toilet, automatic, the water, China have come up with all these good things. They are very innovative. But still the people, not all of them are educated to use this, even here in our country. Just our toilet here and now, the one that's the sitting one, is for you to sit, but people still want to squat. If they squat with their bare foot, still okay, it can keep the place clean. They will squat with their shoes. I also don't understand. But maybe we have two. One is the squatting. Maybe there are people who just cannot do their business without squatting. So never mind, there's one for the squatting one. But when you the sitting one is for you to sit. But people are not. Even for the men, if you go into that kind of toilet, you sit, just take some time, just relax, take up your trousers and sit. They don't want to sit. And we are not sharpshooter. You know what's going to happen. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. Now you're dirty the whole area. And that's why, if you look at this, the Prophet want the men, and especially the men. Men, when you wear trousers, make sure the trousers is always above the ankle. If your trousers is too long, when you go to this kind of place, and the urine is everywhere sometimes, and you may even dirty your trousers. So it's good. You go in, you undress yourself, it's clean, and then you sit. We have that problem until today. We hope that inshallah the coming generation will change, we hope. That we train them, please make your toilet dry toilet. So these are the reasons that you are tortured. But today we do to almost every grave. Like we know they are going to be punished already. Now even you would do, you unplug some branches. You must remember you are not Prophet Muhammad. You cannot give any intercession for that. Only the Prophet have the right to give the shafa'ah. For this kind of problem. Now he then requests a palm branch, cut it in half and stuck each half into one of the grave. He was asked, "Oh Allah, why did you do this?" He replied, "Perhaps their punishment will be reduced as long as the branches have not dried up yet." It is clear from these two hadiths that the reason for the reduction of punishment in the Prophet's intercession or supplication dua, and not the green state of the branches. You remember the story I told you about Moses, who have stomach ache, severe stomach ache, and asked Allah for help. Then what did Allah command him to do? Go into the wilderness and look for a tree and take the leaf from this tree. And he consumed, alhamdulillah. Instant recovery. So next time he still have this, the second time he have the same pain. Now he goes straight to the tree. And he consumed the same thing, but the pain never disappeared. Now you know why? What is the difference between the first one and the second one? The first one, because Allah said you will be healed. The second one, no. It's not that leaf, that tree is going to heal you. Allah. Yeah, and this is important. Yeah. It's nothing to do with the green state of the branches. It's because of the Prophet's shafa'ah and prayer. The letter merely was a sign indicating the duration of the reduction and not a cause for it. Therefore, for those who place green leaves or plant green bushes over a grave make several mistakes because of their misunderstanding of the above sunnah, such as the following. Number one, they presume that their intercession and supplication are equal to that of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who was proven or who was provided with the revelation and was informed that the punishment would be reduced for a specific duration. Allah allowed the Prophet to hear the azab. We don't hear any azab. Number two, their action implicitly reflect bad thoughts towards their disease. That you know they are having this problem. Yeah. It means that he needs their help because he's been punished, a matter only known to Allah. Yeah. Number three, this is a clear act of imitation of the disbeliever. Yeah. The disbeliever have more to do. The disbeliever even bring food, fruits. And sometimes if their loved one loves to smoke, they will bring a packet of cigarette. If the loved one loves to gamble, mahjong, they will bring a set of mahjong. Not the real set, yeah, all paper made. And then they will burn because they believe that they need to have these activities. They may have their own member to collect 4 of them. Because you cannot play mahjong 1 until you must have 4. Then they can pray. Yeah? Number 4, it is an obvious defiance of the sunnah, the Prophet, and the practice of the Salaf, whose grave was simple, only covered with soil and pebbles. Some pebbles, no problem. Very simple, no decoration. But the problem you are facing, brothers and sisters, we may not do it. When we learn, we know. No. Thank you. Whoever they bring anything, please pass it to us. We will bring it home. We put it in our house. But sometimes you have other family members. You know, but they don't know. You learn, but they don't learn. You understand sunnah, they don't understand the sunnah. And they are going to come with a lot of this kind of arrangement. What are you going to do? As a Muslim, you want to die as a Muslim. We want to follow the Prophet from the day we are born. We make aqiqah, now we die. We want to the funeral to follow the sunnah of the Prophet. What are you going to do? You have the right to tell everybody. From when? Before somebody died, or before you pass away. I don't want this. You know what normally people will do at the grave? You make it clear first. And you hope that somebody will recite it. Ini wasiat, amanah from the deceased. You have to do that today because people don't care. The people have ordered, send it to the house. No problem. Flower could be in the house. We don't bring it there. And now you have another issue. If you are some person who is known public figure, and the not yet Muslim also want to pay a visit, you cannot stop them. You cannot stop them. And normally the not yet Muslim will do what? They will order already. They thought that to them is common, that is their way. But you are Muslim, when are you going to educate them? That is the best time. Please, sister. No, they are going to send it. You collect it and put it in the house. That's all. And that's all you put in the house. But you don't bring it to the grave. Is that easy? It's up to us. You have to decide. You know what have happened earlier, so you have to make it clear. And later on, the not yet Muslim will learn how simple our way. Then you go and waste the money, you better give money. And to the family, maybe they need to pay this and pay for that. Why not? It is their burden. Now we have a lot of issues. Because we are not careful with all these Islamic values. We thought, oh, this is tradition. But we have our own values. Lighting candles by a grave, lighting candles or lamp by a grave is prohibited for various reasons. Number one, it is an innovation that was unknown. Don't they have lamp before? They have more lamp than us. We hardly use lamp. We have all the electrical torchlight already, no lamp already. But they all use lamp. They all have candles, but they don't use it. Remember, the graveyard is a graveyard. Number two, it is a waste of money and resources. Considered as mubazzir, which is prohibited in Islam, as we have discussed in regard to being excessive with shroud, even the kafan. If you too excessive, also is not recommended by the Prophet ﷺ. Number three, it involves an imitation to the fire worshippers. It's to be noted that the commonly cited hadith in this regard, Allah curses the woman who frequent the grave and pray and light candles over them, is weak and therefore may not be used as a supporting evidence. You understand this saying? Allah curses the woman who frequent the grave and pray and light candles over them, is weak. It was not encouraged. Why? Because woman tends to be very emotional. But if you know how to control yourself, you want to visit the grave, you can go, but to remind you about your time to go there. Therefore may not be used as supporting evidence. The last thing that I'd like to share with you today is the mutilating or disturbing the bodies. It is prohibited to break the bones of a dead believer, mutilate his body, cut any of his parts, or burn him, even if he requested that in his will. You cannot follow. Any written will, wasiyat, that is against the Islamic principle, you cannot follow. As long as it's not against the Sharia, you should honor. like the story we told all of you before, a father who loved the children, give the children almost everything. And one day he just worried that he died, he will be punished by God. So he called all his children and asked them, am I a good father to all of you? They said, of course. You are the best father that we can ever have, because everything we want, you give it to us. I think father give in more than the mother. Because father, that's how father corrupt the children. They want fast way to win their children's heart. Where mother, mother know the children from the beginning to the end. Their trick, their naughtiness, everything is in the fingertip of their mother. They cannot lie to the mother. But for father, father come back with toys lah, this, that. Oh, father is everything, the best father. Astaghfirullah. Yeah, they are good father, alhamdulillah. But sometimes we have even father don't even give any financial support. Never give to the children. He stay with another family. These are where the mother struggle to take care of the children. Once a while he appeared. And when he appeared, he don't even spend on the children. Like they still call the mother to spend on them. But the children, father is so good. I don't know what is going to happen to the mother. The mother feels so sad. And still the children don't understand. We have to make the children understand. The Prophet ﷺ said from Aisha, in the meaning, indeed, breaking a dead believer's bones is similar in prohibition to breaking them when he was alive. That means we should honor the deceased like how we honor them when they are alive. We should treat them with respect. Now we conclude from it that the sensitivity of a Muslim extends after his death as it was during his life. You must honor them. The only thing, brothers and sisters, that we are allowed to excuse ourselves, if we know that the person who died, and we know through what we heard from what they said to us, we remember a story that when somebody is going to pass away, when they are very sick, when we are there to visit them, what should we do to them? What should we do? We should remind them not to forget Allah. La ilaha illallah. And sometimes people will also add Muhammad Rasulullah. Now, especially the elderly, people who cannot remember a lot of things already, we still have to remind them. Even they are not yet Muslim, we still can do that to them. But sometimes they are Muslim, very sensitive, who call themselves Muslim. Why? You think I'm not a Muslim? You are just reminding them based on the teaching of the Prophet. Like, people are so sensitive. You think I'm not Muslim? Get out. They chase you out. This shows that we are very, very arrogant. We know that you're Muslim, but we do not know your ending. I think there is a story all of us are exposed to at the time of the Salaf, not the first generation, not the second, but the third generation, where this great scholar have a parrot. You remember the story? He have a bird, and this parrot was trained to remember Allah. When you see somebody, Assalamu alaikum, anybody walk in, Assalamu alaikum, he gives salam to you, because this is what been taught to the parrots. And zikr, la ilaha illallah, And this parrot, every time he see a person, La ilaha, give salam, salam, La ilaha illallah. And in the same time, he also keep a cat. The cat become very jealous because everybody loves the parrot more, because the parrot can give salam, can make zikr. One day the cat just attacked the parrot because jealousy. Oh, everybody loves you. How they know how he's jealous? Only Allah knows. But that is how the story lies. And then the parrot just go back to his fitra, screaming for help, pain in pain, and he died. This make this scholar cry and keep on crying for days. Feel so sad. It make the other student get very surprised. You are a great scholar, learned person. How can you just be so sad because of a parrot? What happened to your iman? Parrot only, you like that, gone case already. But you see, I'm not sad because of that bird. I was very worried. He was remembering Allah all the time, La ilaha. The minute that he's going to die, he forget to say La ilaha illallah. That is what I worried most. I'm saying La ilaha illallah now, but I do not know when I'm going to depart from this world. When sakratul maut, when the pain and the angel of death appeared, and shaitan also will appear in a form of something that you love most. That's why you must not love anything more than Allah. If you love something so much, then that thing will appear. The shaitan will come and will appear in that particular image. So you remember that thing. When people say La ilaha illallah, you say that. If you love your son will appear. You love your grandson appear. You love orchid will appear. Orchid. This thing will come. What is important, brother and sister, is to remind ourselves. We must remember Allah at all time. That's why Allah said, "Allazina yazkuruna qiyaman wa qu'udan wa ala junubihim." Those who remember Allah while standing, sitting, lying down in the mall, outside the mall, in the market, wherever you go, when you eat, when you drink, when you travel, when you are on the transport, driving on the plane, never forget Allah. That's why we make all this zikr, just remind ourselves. Yeah, it protects you from a lot of things that you don't know. Now this provided an answer to a question commonly posed by medical students. It is permissible to cut the bone or parts of a dead person for the purpose of testing or study. The answer is this is prohibited with the Muslim body, but permissible with other bodies. Because the Muslim believer is sacred. An exception to the above would be a woman who died with a baby in her womb. If the doctor expects the baby to live by cutting the mother's body open, that should be done because it involves saving a Muslim life. Or because of there is a case people want to go to post-mortem because suddenly they don't know what is the cause. They just want to make sure that there is no foul play. Then it's okay, but the normal one, no. And you remember the story I said about the man who loved the son, and the man said to the son, the children, if I die, please, do me one favor. If you love me, don't bury me like this with the whole body. Burn my body and turn it into ashes. Wait for the stormy day, then you let it go, so that all the ashes is being scattered around. So no more body. So he will escape from the punishment. No more body, already gone case. And day of judgment, the Prophet said, Allah called upon him and asked him, why do you do that? He said, I fear your punishment, O Allah. And because of that fear towards Allah, that means he believed in Allah's punishment. And he feared the punishment of Allah. Allah forgive him. Because he was ignorant about other things. But don't use the same policy. I fear Allah's punishment. Please do that to me. That wasiat cannot be reinforced because it's against the teaching of Islam. Yeah. Now we also conclude with Aisha radiallahu anha hadith that it's not permissible to exhume a Muslim body out of his grave unless there is a Shar'i reason for that. That means there is a good reason for that. On the other hand, it is permissible to exhume the body of a kafir as it reduced for the same hadith as well as the followers. Aisha radiallahu anha and Anas reported that when Allah's messenger wanted to build his masjid, he summoned the tribe of An-Najjar who owned the land and told them, Ya Bani Najjar, O family of An-Najjar, this is a tribe, tell me what price you want for this land of yours. Saminuni. They replied, by Allah, we do not seek its price except from Allah. In that land there were graves of pagan, ruin and palm trees. The Prophet commanded that the pagan grave be dug and removed, and the ruin demolished and the palm cut. The palm was lying towards the Qibla of the masjid, and the two pillars were made of stone. They, the Sahaba, then start carrying rocks and bricks with the Prophet, and they were chanting without music, and the Prophet chanting with them. Hazal himalu la himalul khaybar. This burden should be sought and not the burden of Khaybar. This is more righteous and pure, O Lord, O Allah. There is no good but the hereafter. So forgive the Ansar and Muhajirin. O Allah, the true reward are the hereafter. So have mercy on the Ansar and Muhajirin. This to show us that when people who don't believe, there is no value. They have no value when they are alive. They have no value after they die. It's not easy for you and me to understand about this. Because Allah don't value them anymore. Allah gives them everything in this life and they do not acknowledge Allah. They reject Him. Is there a value to us when you have your children who you give them everything and they ignore you? They don't even recognize you as their mother and their father. Do you put any value on this kind of children? Do you value a friend when a friend always hurt you, gossip about you, talk bad about you? Do you value that kind of friend? There's no value. I don't think you're going to value them after they die also. You don't want to have anything to do with them. Allah don't value people who are unthankful to Him. That's why Allah said, La in shakartum la azidanakum wa la in kafartum inna azabi la shadid. If you learn how to be grateful and thankful, I'm going to increase my blessing. But if you are unthankful and ungrateful, you just wait for my punishment. Very serious thing. May Allah Rabbul Alam protect all of us, brothers and sisters. And I hope we know what we are facing today. Most of our family members don't really understand the Quran and Sunnah dealing with funeral. So we have to help them, or we have to help ourselves by writing down a written bill and remind them, please remember this. If anything happened to me, read this out. But if they don't do it, you will not be questioned for that anymore. You have done your part. Yeah? May Allah guide us, and may Allah forgive those who have done a lot of things that is un-Islamic because of their own ignorance. Yeah? I mean, if there's any question and answer, now we go to Q&A further. Any question from the sisters first? Now, Pastor Mike.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
I'm just wondering whether it is appropriate, because I see this quite a bit on social media, that when to commemorate the anniversary of, say, your arwah father's death, by putting up the picture, putting the date, and then saying, I miss my father very much, and if he was still living today, he would be 80 years old or something along those lines. I mean, I've been seeing quite a bit of this, and I'm just wondering whether it is appropriate.
No, it's okay. Nothing is wrong to remember, the date. Our loved one. Is good. Now, even the Prophet ﷺ taught us as children. It happened to the son of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. The son of Umar, Ibn Umar, always looked for the friend of Umar, those who Umar respect and love most. So then, why he do that? Because this is how he show his love to his father. These are the good friends of my father. So the Prophet even said that you can be dutiful to your parent by having a good relationship with their good friend. With the good friend. That means you do not cut off that relationship with them because your father is no more there. So Ibn Umar always looked for the close friend of his father, and he always honored them, give them a lot of things, like how their father used to share a lot of things with them. He treat them, honor them, and then these people will remember, who are you? Oh, your father, son of Umar ibn Khattab. So sometimes they will talk about the good thing that happened with their father when we are so young, when we are old. What happened is nothing wrong. Just to recall the goodness of the good people is okay, nothing wrong. Is that what you're trying to ask me? Is that what you are asking me just now, sis? Yep. We wouldn't encourage, because that's not our way. That's not our way. You have to pay also for that. Just if you want to have a good relation with people that they are very close, that is good enough. That is what the Prophet encouraged. And they will talk about their life. It's a prayer. You remember there's a saying that the Prophet said, one of the big sin is by disrespecting your parent, dishonoring them, cursing them is a great sin in Islam. Consider major sins. And then look at what the Prophet talked about this. There is a big sin for us children to curse their parent. And then the Sahaba said to the Prophet, what do you mean we children cursing our parent? Most of the children don't curse their parent. The Prophet said, no, by you cursing the parent of other people. then people will curse your parent. This is the bad one. The good one, by you do good with the people that is good to your parent, they will talk good about your parent. Then it's a prayer. That is more Islamic than just to recall, oh, my father, if they're still alive, he's 90 years old now. That have no value in Islam. Only maybe emotionally we are telling the people we still remember. But if you want to remember your loved one, remember them in the way the Prophet have taught us. Get to know people that they like, their good friend, their close friend, and have a good relationship with them. That would be the best way. Not through the advertisement and so on. No. I know sometimes we are very emotional, but we have our own way as a Muslim. We will be very happy to follow our way, inshallah. Any other question, inshallah? Now, pass the mic, please.
Assalamualaikum, Ustaz.
Wassalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Can you explain if there's no compulsion in religion, but why in hudud law is death penalty for people who leave Islam?
There's no compulsion in religion. That is your question at first. Then the second one.
If there's no compulsion in religion, then why in hudud law is death penalty for those who leave Islam?
Oh, hudud law, death penalty for those who leave Islam. Because you consider yourself as a Muslim. We did not force you to be a Muslim. But when you claim yourself as a Muslim, then you are bound to follow the law of Islam. Example, if you are not a citizen here, you break the rule of the country, do you think they will try their best to forgive you? Do you think they will forgive you? They may. You may have a good case. I don't know the law of this country. But still they don't forgive you. Wherever you travel, you must know what is allowed and what is not allowed in that country. True or not? But if you don't follow, do you think the law can come after you? Yeah, they can give you death penalty because of drug. Because I have informed you. Yeah, before you land in the country, announcement have been made. So, are you forcing them? No, this is the law. You don't break the law. You understand that? I don't force you to come to Malaysia, example. You want to come to Malaysia, you are welcome. But there is a law in this country. If you commit this kind of sin, then death penalty for you. So is that force? Is that a force? No. You must respect the law. Anywhere you go, you must respect the law. Either you respect God's law or you respect human-made law. That's how it goes. You must ask ourselves, who are we? If you're Muslim, you're bound to the Islamic law. If you're not a Muslim, you're bound to another law. You cannot say, I'm a lawless person. So you cannot stay in the country who have law because you are a lawless person. So you must stay in an island, there's no law. You cannot find an island there's no law because the island also belongs to somebody. You understand it? Like in the flight example, I didn't force you to come and fly and take this flight, but when you confirm your flight and I said at this time you should be in and you are not there and you want to come late, they said no. Do they have the right to stop you? Oh, you cannot force me. No, I didn't force you, but the law is there. I said don't carry sharp material. You still want to, then you don't go in. Just an example. The law is here to protect your right and the right of others. So you have to ask yourself, I am Muslim. So you declare yourself as a Muslim. You follow the 50-50. Yeah, sometimes I know, sometimes people say, no, when come to Islam, they always talk about hudud. When other law, they don't talk about it. Why other law you can follow? When come to a Muslim, the Muslim have their own law, you can't follow. I don't understand also. But I said to a lot of reverts, their family, I said, now, if you are a Buddhist family or a Christian family, have you experienced that Buddhist family also end with a divorce? Chinese also have divorce. Christian also, they will end with a divorce. Even they say there's no divorce, but it ends with a divorce. True or not? But then do they say, oh, because we are Christians, so now I end with divorce, I'm going to leave Christianity. I'm going to leave Buddhism. No. Religion is religion. Your problem is your problem. When come to Islam, oh, I want to go back. Why you do that? Why you abandon religion because of that? Why you blame God for that? Now the hudud here is to be very frank, sister. Hudud is not easy to implement. It's more difficult than the civil law. Very difficult. I give you one simple example. People commit adultery. Do you think it's easy? Unless those who are involved in the blue film, what they call blue film, or dark film, I don't know, that show publicly, then that is really another profession. That you are not ashamed of yourself. Then of course we have to give you a strong signal. Why? Because we do not want you to signal the public that you can do all these things openly, freely. No. It's to protect the family, protect the dignity of that woman and the dignity of that man. Example, I give you one example. When they are filming, it so happens they cover their face. Only body. And then somebody said, you see, I saw them. How do you see them? No, I saw them, but did you see how they look like? You have problem. Then they can get some witness, somebody and dress like that, get naked and cover themselves. Now, tell me who is there? You must really witness 8 eyes, 4 witnesses. And the 4 witnesses is male. That means you must be a professional to do that. If it's just an example. Now, example again. If you hire a professional investigator, and then they give the camera zoom, everything. Islamically, that guy is doing something wrong. You are not supposed to spy. You see, it's not easy. It's easy to say. The Sharia law, anything done by a person secretly, and you go and expose, you will be punished first. Who give you the authority to do that? You don't have other job to do. You go in people's secrecy and privacy. That's wrong. Oh, it's not easy. The first thing they'll come is after the witness first. Where do you do? How do you do it? Now he is doing so far away in the darkness, and you come up with the night night, what you call the night vision and so on. Wow, you must be a profession. You will be punished first. You disturb the privacy of another person. Look at the time of the Prophet. So beautiful. People commit sin by themselves. No one knows except they. They came to the Prophet next day. Ya Rasulullah, I want to be punished. I want the hudud to be applied on me. The Prophet don't even know to entertain. Go home. If you have seen last night, no one knows except God. Why must you go and tell me? If you tell me, I have more work to do. Number one, I got to check whether you are okay. Okay. I'm not a doctor. And then I got to get more information about you and check other people. Is this person okay, or he just want to commit suicide and he want me to execute him for nothing? No, I'm not going to do that. You go home. He don't entertain at all. Even they admit, still he don't entertain. Go. And when the woman came and said, do you have any evidence? Yeah. Now, few months already is inside. But there's nothing wrong with your baby. Go. And he didn't ask also, who is the guy who do this to you? He didn't ask. Whoever come, he deal with that person. He don't go after the second person. No. You look, the hudud is easy to say, but to apply is not that simple. Even those who commit and admit and come forward, still gone. Today, do you have people who do that? Please, no, I've done this. No, nobody want to say that. But to accuse a person, you must have 4 witnesses. The witness for akad nikah 2 saja. To accuse a person, 4. And if 4 of them make some mistake, this 4 is condemned for life. Cannot be any witness anymore. Kalas. It's severe, and they will be punished also if they make a mistake. Who want to come to be a witness like that? Because the court is going, the Sharia court is going to be very detailed. How, when, if you cannot, they will punish you. Unless you want to be caned publicly. This is just an example. Yeah, we can talk about that more detail when there's an issue. May Allah protect all of us from fitna, inshallah. And brothers and sisters, time is getting very close. Don't forget our big day on the 8th of September, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.